Well, look at what we have here. We have an elite boss on a map that is by some players considered to be actually an expert map. So this is a boss event on Geared, and Geared is definitely one of the most difficult maps in BT6. Now, to have a boss event on this map just means that we're gonna have to spend so much more money than usual in defending, and on top of that, Ninjakiwi, well, was not nice enough to help us out, so they did actually ban a lot of towers. So for example, we cannot use the Heli, which is a global tower, no Super Monkey, so that means no VTSG and no Sun Temples, no Spike Factory, which is just amazing versus Lich, and then look at all these other modifiers. The Bloons are a little bit slower, which is nice. The boss is a little bit weaker and a little bit slower, but keep in mind that this is a very short track anyways. And then the paragon limit is set at 2, so only 2 paragons. We're gonna have to be very selective with the towers that we buy. And now this is a problem that is only exclusive for Geared, and that is because the gear keeps rotating, so your towers are essentially gonna move out of rotation. They're not gonna be able to defend. So I chose Oben for this one, and I'm actually gonna show you guys a little bit more from my early game actually, because I think that this is what you guys are gonna be most interested in, just surviving the early game, getting the economy going. And actually, this is my first time playing it, so let's see how I'm gonna do it as well. So here's a little bit of a trick that I did on the normal one, and I'm gonna do on this one as well. So you guys look at the money. We almost have enough money for another farm, and then we have the brambles. Now the brambles do leave on the track on the next round actually, so I'm gonna use the brambles. Oben is gonna move out of rotation, but the brambles are gonna stay, and because it's only gonna be this dark monkey defending, he's not gonna be able to defend by himself, but that's completely fine because look at this thing, we got money for another farm. Right, so a lot of blue Bloons and a lot of reds going in, and that is, you know what, I'm absolutely fine with leaking, you know, this amount of lives. So that was like 10 lives only that we leaked, and actually just playing this whole thing, we're gonna have to be very careful. So it's round 13, which means that Oben moves back into rotation, so we can afford to upgrade the farm a little bit. Okay, so 2 more rounds left on Oben, and here is the big question: do we buy another farm or do we upgrade the Druid? And of course the answer for now is gonna be buy another farm, so I'm just gonna buy like a base farm, and I think it's gonna be time to upgrade the Druid because the Druid as well is gonna move out of rotation, so we're actually gonna be pretty weak in the next few rounds. And let's actually do the exact same trick that we did before. So while this round is ending and while the gear is rotating, we can use the brambles one last time so that we can get some additional firepower just like that. And now we do have the money for the Druid of the Jungle, so let's actually greed out the increased production upgrade because we have the brambles at the back. Is this gonna be enough, by the way? Yes, it is gonna be enough. Look at this thing. So the brambles doing some pops, and now we get the, yeah, actually we were able to greed out one more upgrade on the farm, which is, I guess it's just like these small efficiencies that are eventually gonna add up. Okay, so it's round 40, and Ninjakiwi were very nice to let the elite defender into the available towers. So let's go like this. Let's buy these things under the range of a discount village. I'm not gonna be buying the jungle drums, and let's actually let our towers produce a little bit of cash before we start selling farms. So I actually want to sell only these 2 farms on the side, which is gonna be 5k each, and the Lich Soul is out, which means that in a second, let's just sell these guys. Do we have enough money? Oh my god, we barely don't. Okay, it's gonna be super close. The elite defender is on first, and there we go. That was very good. Actually, by the way, it's round 41, and we have to be really careful about this one, so I'm gonna use the brambles because in the next round we have camo Bloons and the brambles on the side. I really hope these brambles just hold on versus these camo Bloons, and then it's probably gonna be fine later on. That's a lot of camos. I don't think we're tanking those. Alright, so the camo idea was nice, but we have to do something about this. So actually the rotation of the gear is really nice because we're gonna be able to buy this like a 0.22 sniper just to start things off, and then we're gonna get the bouncing bullet actually later on. This is very nice. And yes, the elite defender absolutely shredding this guy, so that's gonna be the last skull up. I'm gonna need this guy to tick. Yeah, there we go. So he ticks, we lose a little bit of lives, but then the prongs the attack speed, and then just the elite defender goes to town. Okay, so all the start is off, which is really important. We just popped the tier 1. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm actually gonna sell almost everything that we have on screen, and here's what I'm gonna do. I want to buy the Minneapolis, so let's start with this thing first. Let's get the Minneapolis going. Let's get the 420 BRF, and let's get the bouncing bullet sniper, and we are slowly gonna move into getting a never miss targeting ace here at the bottom with an alchemist, and then we're probably just gonna, oh my god, that's a 45. Are we gonna defend this guy? This is probably not. Is it gonna be enough? Please tell me it is. Oh my god, we're barely defending. Yeah, we cannot deal with these mob class Bloons, so hopefully, you know, we can greed out a little bit of farms before we get to the never miss. Actually, you know what? Oben is about to reach level 10, so what if we buy this level, we get the wall of trees going, and is this gonna be good enough to defend these mob class Bloons? Because there's not gonna be that many mobs left, so it's only gonna be these 2. So let me actually try and time it. So whenever the first one pops, I'm actually gonna use the brambles onto the second one. So let's go on strong, use the ability, and there we go. That was really nice. Okay, so is all started off? Yeah, it is. Okay, so let's start placing down these farms. All right, so it's round 49, and here's what's happening. This village got into a really nice rotation, So we got the discount onto our 203 Ace and the Alchemist, which I pre-placed, by the way, so I was kind of ready for this rotation. And then we have the 032 Sniper at the bottom. And now the only thing that we have to do is just spam 420 farms to see how many of these guys can we get before the next tier of boss appears. So I'm going to see you guys in a second. Alright everyone, so round 16, this is the tier 2 boss, and here is what we're going to do. So again, Ninjakiwi was nice enough to let us have the Darling, which is the 250 mat. So actually it's going to be the 150 that we're going to use in this one. And our farming is actually really good. So we have the Minneapolis going, we have 4 BRFs under the range of it, and then on the other side I was able to manage to buy 2 more 420s. I see a wall of trees at the back, and we do have we have another wall of trees actually, and we do have the mad ability. So actually I'm going to use the mad ability like this. 49 lives, not exactly doing that well. Let's aim the mad ability towards the ceramic wave actually. Move it back towards the boss, and while the boss is popping, I am going to use the wall of actually let me just remove this thing. I'm going to use the wall of trees, so let's get this new one going, and then this new wall of trees is going to deal with round 63, and that should be fine. Okay, so let's turn off all the start, let's sell the mat, and let's just buy the 5th tier, the Banana Central actually. Alright, so it's round 79 and the tier 3 is about to appear. So the economy is doing really well actually. Once we bought the Monkeyopolis, we filled the entire map, which to be honest is really not a big map, so you can actually fill this thing with farms pretty fast. But because we have the tier 3 incoming, we're gonna defend with a Dark Paragon, which is the cheapest one. I'm only doing it because it's the cheapest one. Honestly, later on I'm gonna sell it and I'm gonna buy something else for the other tiers. So let's upgrade this thing to the Apex Plasma Master. I'm not sure if we're gonna need more than 1 degree actually, so I'm just gonna do it like this, and then if we need to I'm gonna restart. But I feel like just a single degree is gonna be enough, just because the HP on the boss has been reduced as well. Oh, actually no, we're healing it. Where is the let's disconnect the tech bot actually, and we're probably gonna even need to sell the I don't want to sell the overclock, but we're probably gonna need to sell it if he heals too much. Oh my god, we have a little bit of an issue. So this Dark Paragon, look at this thing, it's rotating out. No, the boss isn't fast enough to keep up with this guy. Oh, wait a minute, do we actually have a problem with this one? I mean, I could buy the Flying Fortress. Yeah, let me just buy this thing, but I don't think the Flying Fortress is gonna be enough to defeat it by itself, is it? Wait a minute, this is getting super close. This is getting super interesting. Wait, the other tiers are gonna be like this, aren't they? Oh no, the Dark Paragon rotated. Okay, so he might be able to see the boss just a little bit. And is this gonna be enough? That's so barely leaked, and I'm just gonna need a little more auto attacks before those BFBs on the side pop. You know what, let's retry this with the Flying Fortress actually, because it did not work previously. So yeah, this is not, oh my god, he healed again. It's the NG, guys. So the NG and the Cleansing Foam gets a little bit of extra attack speed whenever a round changes, and this is exactly what's happening. So the Dark Paragon is out of rotation, so if I sell this thing and if I rebuy it real quick here on this, oh my god, it's leaving rotation again. I'm gonna lose it, man. I'm just gonna lose it on this one. I just quickly buy the degree one again, and is this gonna be enough? I've never done this before, rebuying a Paragon, the exact same Paragon to defeat the boss, but please tell me that this is gonna be enough. So round 86, no, it's rotating out again. Do we have this thing? Yes, we do. Oh my god, that was so annoying. Man, I really wish we don't have to do this with all of the other ones, but I feel like we might actually. It's only gonna be a tier 4, because for a tier 5 I want to have the Goliath, and that thing has global range, but we're not gonna have the Goliath for a tier 4. So let me just think of something, and I'm gonna see you guys in a second. Alright, so tier 4 is about to come out, and I actually have a sick solution for this one, and this is a solution thanks to update 44 and thanks to the Mer Monkey. So you guys know how the Mer Monkey will actually deliver the abyss, allows us to place water towers on land. Well, that means that we can buy a global tower on land, and that is gonna be the sub Paragon. So I'm actually gonna do, wait, what am I missing? I'm missing the Energizer, so let's go like this. Let's buy the Knowledge Siege Core, and let's put, I don't want to put all the money into this thing, but like, I don't know, like 600k should be enough for a total of $1 million investment. Yeah, I'm fine with this thing, so let's buy this thing. It's gonna be a degree, what we get 37 is a lot actually. Okay, so now let's hit play, and now the sub Paragon, look at this thing. Yeah, so this is exactly what Ninjakiwi wanted us to do. Look at this guy go to town. Yes, exactly. So the Mer Monkey coming to a rescue. This might be what Ninjakiwi wanted us to do actually, and maybe we could have done it on the previous one, on tier 3. But again, like the Dark Paragon doesn't even cost that much money, so it's not a problem. But yeah, for this one definitely, and I'm actually gonna keep this one because the degree is really nice. It's 37, and then for the last one we're gonna go for the Goliath. But look at this thing. I'm actually this is like a pretty cool solution. You gotta be honest. And there we go, tier 4 popped. So let's hit continue, and then let's just keep the farming going. And then when the tier 5 appears, we're gonna sell all of our farms, and we're just gonna buy a Goliath. And let's buy the Goliath, but let's leave ourselves a little bit of cash for these damage amplifiers. So I think this is gonna be fine. So 1.5 million in total, and what's the degree that we're gonna get on this one? It's gonna be pretty decent actually. 47, I love that. Okay, so let's set this guy on Wing Monkey. Let's go like this. Let's buy a Cripple Moab on Strong. We're barely not gonna have enough money for a super build, right? Oh no, we actually barely do have enough money, and there it is, $3,000 left over, and this should be more than enough for the tier 5. And I'm just so this was actually a really fun boss event. I mean, it did require us to think in a lot of different ways, I feel like. So I actually think that we did a pretty decent job for the early farming, and then that kind of translated into the later ones. Tier 3 was a little bit, you know, because we had to rebuy the Dark Paragon because the wheel kept spinning, and so that wasn't really fun. But all in all, you know, just getting the sub for the tier 4 and then just keeping it like this. And honestly, you know, this guy doesn't even have that much HP, so if you cannot afford the Goliath, maybe like even just like a super high degree on the sub Paragon is gonna work as well. But yeah, this is gonna be the end. So that's the tier 5, and that's gonna be it. So that was a really fun boss event. I mean, I really like Ninjakiwi going back to these, you know, super difficult, well, not super difficult, but at least these more difficult boss events, right? And let's just check the pop count before we go. So 12 million onto the sub Paragon, and then 13 onto Goliath is absolutely expected. And yeah, that's gonna be it. So thank you guys so much for watching the video. That was the Elite Lich onto Gear, the really fun one, and I'm gonna see you in the next one.